Welcome to The Take. It's been a few years, and it was Derb's Take. And we are back and looking better than ever. We're doing this podcast video style now. I got the equipment. It's not just me. I got one of my best friends, Christian Cabrera, behind the camera, put all this together. We're at his house, got all this set up. So excited to get all the sports info out this way. Follow us on YouTube at The Take. We'll be getting our Twitter and Instagram accounts going, but just especially during this pandemic and during these times, what better time to get this back going after the quick 2-year hiatus? I've been meaning to do this for a while. I finally have the time. Done with college, done with school. I'm back home. It's a lot easier. But sports are well underway. And we got the NFL back going after week 1. Baseball's headed into the playoffs. NBA conference finals are going, and we're almost towards the Stanley Cup. We got every major sport going on at the same time, the first time ever. So a lot of sports to watch, a lot of sports to put your money on, and we're gonna go right into that. So, week 1 for the NFL, first and foremost, didn't think we'd get here. I didn't think it was at least going to be played as smooth as it did. Didn't see really any teams missing a beat in terms of fluidity and the way the games played. We saw a lot less penalties and a lot more touchdowns. Game 1, we saw the Texans and the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. Saw the Super Bowl champion Chiefs come in, do their thing, and take another win from Bill O'Brien and the Texans. It's what you expected. The first round pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU. They used the first round pick on him for a reason. Kid comes in, runs amok, gets a touchdown first game. So he's also on my fantasy team. So that was a big start to my week. Unfortunately, we lost week 1. We faced Calvin Ridley. We faced Adam Thielen. We faced Alvin Kamara. And it didn't help that I have Michael Thomas, who's scheduled and said to be out on Monday night against the Raiders. So that's a really good thing. But, week 1 we saw my terrible, terrible New York Jets play another terrible game of football. Just terrible. Avoided a blowout. The Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, they're ahead. And that's what happens when you have good ownership, good coaching, and give the pieces for a young quarterback to succeed. We've seen Josh Allen play very well, and without, the 2 fumbles, he's prone to fumbling, in the red zone. He did twice on Sunday against the Jets. Bills should have had a 35-point lead at halftime, and it was only a 18-point lead, 21-3. Should have been 35-0. Sam Darnold didn't play well. Le'Veon Bell got hurt. He's on the IR. He's out for 3 weeks. It's the same old it's the goddamn Jets. It's the same old Jets. And after week 1, just like last year when they blew the 16-point lead to the Bills at home and lost 17-6, they come in, they throw up a friggin' dud, they stink, and they're already punting on the season. They're not going to win. They're going to win 4 games. And the only reason why Adam Gase is still the head coach is because they don't want Sam Darnold to learn a third offense, with a new head coach and ruin it. But hey, third-year quarterback, time to step up, time to actually play ball, time to see what you got. And I don't know if I'm that confident that Darnold right now is the guy with Gase. Who knows? We thought this was our guy. First-round pick, took him top 5. There's glimpses. He ended the season on a high note, 6-2 after the whole mono thing. But, at what point, this is the season that's going to tell. If they're going to go in and throw up a 4-winner, 4-12 season, 5-11, at what point are you going to go, okay, it's over. But again, I'm not even looking forward to the season with the Jets because it's the same old bullshit. So, it's what it is. They signed Kalen Ballage, former Dolphin running back. What run game? Thank God the Jets signed 60-year-old Frank Gore, right? Because Bell getting hurt, he's your primary back. They have no offensive weapons. You traded Jamal Adams. You brought in a few picks for the next few years. You brought in McDougal to take in the slot. The only positive I saw from Sunday's game was Marcus May. Outstanding game. He was basically in the same position that Adams was playing. The safety linebacker's spot. Just great tackling all around. Tackles for losses. He's the one guy that I saw all over the field. Helping out with one of the fumbles from Allen. It's going to be a long season. It's going to be a long, long season from Gang Green. Coming to, going forward for week 2 tonight, Browns-Bengals. It's the shit bowl on Thursday Night Football. Browns are a -6 favorite, over-under at 43. I mean, they went against the best team of football in the Ravens. Did you think the Browns were going to make any noise in week 1? Probably not. They threw up a 6-point clunker. They stunk. Baker stunk. Odell, 3 catches, 22 yards, stunk. Chubb did nothing, stunk. Well, actually, he didn't. He did average 6 yards a carry, but they didn't go to him. New coach, new offensive scheme. He went 10 carries for 60 yards, and Kareem Hunt still got more carries, got more workload than Chubb. So we'll see that tonight. Hopefully, against this Bengals defense, you see more out of Nick Chubb. Bengals-wise, a tough one. You had a chance. The number 1 pick, Joe Burrow, this kid already, week 1, looked good. He looked poised. It's what you wanted. 2-minute drill, brought him down to the red zone for a last-second field goal, and Randy Bullock pulled a calf, a hamstring. He went down, shank right, whatever it was, blew the game. And an offensive pass interference call on A.J. Green definitely cost it as well. Could have had a touchdown. He pushed off, and they called that one back. But again, Bengals could have been 1-0 after week 1. Sadly, didn't. It's just one of those Bengals things that happens, and boom, you're 0-1. This game's going to be a total shit show, I think. Will there be points scored? I don't know. Maybe not. Will a quarterback throw for a touchdown? Who knows? Maybe not. Browns -6. You think the Browns are going to win by a touchdown tonight? I don't know. I like the run game. I like Joe Mixon. I like Chubb getting the ball a lot. I think Burrow's still going to have a pretty decent game. I'm wondering where Baker. I think the only thing that I can guarantee out of this game is that Baker throws a pick. He's good. He's good for an interception a game. That's what I've been seeing out of him lately. But overall, if Jarvis Landry is out, he's questionable to play tonight. If Landry is out of the lineup, I do like OBJ having a pretty decent game. He was targeted 10 times week 1, only caught 3 for 22. But if Baker's looking at him and going to him 10 times a game, especially against that Ravens D, I like it. He's not going to be locked down as much. He's going to be the number 1. And if Jarvis is out, maybe you pass. Maybe Hunt gets a little bit more. Maybe Austin Hooper gets more than 2 catches for 15 yards as one of the best. He was one of the best tight ends last year with the Atlanta Falcons. So we'll see that game. Burrow versus Baker. It's a divisional game. If the Browns want to exceed or play to expectation this year, after they were just horrendous last year, they couldn't play up to the expectation. They thought to be a playoff team last year. They absolutely sucked. If the Baker Mayfields, if the Browns want to do anything, they got to win tonight. All right, it's a primetime game. Baker needs a W. I'll take the Browns. -6, I don't know. I see them winning by 3, by maybe 4. So I do like the Bengals +6 on that line, but I like the Browns to win tonight. The other 2 primetime games, very good. We got Pats, Seahawks, Sunday Night Football, and then Monday Night Football, you got the Saints at the Raiders, the new Las Vegas Raiders. Sunday Night Football, who knows? I mean, Patriots and the Seahawks, they both played very well. Cam Newton, if you thought he lost a step, well, you were absolutely wrong. He didn't. He ran in for 2 touchdowns last week. And then Russell Wilson just continues to be the most underrated player in the NFL. It's that simple. Come Sunday Night Football, he's the best player on the field. There's no question about it. This game is going to be really good. You saw Bill Belichick talk about Russ to the media. He said he's the most underrated player by the media. He's the most underrated player, period. And there's no other player like him on the field. Seahawks offense played very well. Pats overall against Miami, but overall, it's really good signs. Defense played well after 6 starters opted out. Cam again running in for 2. I mean the Patriots are fine. If you thought they were gonna be anything under 8-9 wins, you fell for the Kool-Aid. It's still Bill Belichick. And what do you know? Buccaneers, they lost. Tom Brady, first game away from New England, L to the Saints. Breeze played okay, not really anything. He can't throw downfield anymore, even though that's my guy. Love Drew Brees, easily my favorite player of all time. But he couldn't throw downfield. He had Kamara, who went for 2 touchdowns. Michael Thomas, high ankle sprain from Kamara, just putting his helmet into his leg. I thought he broke his leg. But Michael Thomas, he's out as well on Monday night. And again, Saints at Raiders. I mean, I think you could tell that the Saints are going to be fine. I don't think him not being there is going to hold you from losing. The Saints are too good of a team. They have too many offensive weapons. And, I mean, it just tells you you're going to be feeding Alvin Kamara the ball. He's going to be in the passing attack more. I mean, I think even book him for another touchdown. Definitely I think he scores this week. You might even book him for 2 touchdowns against the Raiders. And last but not least from week 1, I know there's a lot of big blue fans. Go Giants. I mean, to be honest, I think they played pretty well. I watched the whole game. They lost 26-16. They just didn't come through in the big situations. They got a gift of a fumble on the punt by Deontay Johnson, and they had to settle for 3. In a game where Barkley had negative rushing yards, they had a chance to win the ball game. I was shocked. I really was. And I think the turning point of the game, and I'm sure a lot of Giants fans and people that watch the game, was the red zone pick from Daniel Jones. I mean, did TJ Watt and Bud Dupree play out of their minds like usual? Absolutely. The Steelers' defense is legit. They're, without a doubt, the best, or one of the best defenses last year. It's a big reason why they were in it all year, even without Big Ben. Big Ben came in, did his thing, threw 3 touchdowns, 2 to Juju. Smith-Schuster is back being, a top 15 receiver, a guy that is going to get his receptions and touchdown looks in the red zone. But it cost them. Because as soon as Dupree, hit Jones and the ball was in the air right by the end zone, and it was picked off, it was the game. It was a 19-play drive by the Giants offense. And say what you want about them bringing in Jason Garrett. I think for that drive, they had great play calling, especially when you knew that Barkley was getting stuffed at the line every chance he got. It was a tough loss at 26-16. They go to Chicago. It might be another tough game for them. Who knows? Trubisky played, had a great fourth quarter comeback last week. But we'll see. I still think that the Giants have a chance to win, 8-9 games. It's a possibility. And it all depends how, and usually how it is during the season, how they play in the division. If the Eagles are going to be losing the Washington football team, if they have a chance to take 2 from Washington, 1 from Philly, even 1 from the Cowboys, they have a very good shot at this division. And the history of this division, a 9-7 team could easily be the division winner and get them in. But even more so, with the expanded playoffs, getting 1 more team in there, I think the Giants are a team to look at in this NFC. And I think, again, overall, if Daniel Jones works on from last season, Golden Tate was out. I love his connection with Darius Slayton. I think Darius Slayton is without a doubt, but besides Barkley, and again, Ingram's a hit or miss guy. I think Slayton's your next guy up. I think he's your next best offensive weapon. He connected for the long touchdown, got one at the end. Didn't really, wasn't for really much, but Slayton got the end zone twice. Really good for Big Blue. Going to the court in the Orlando bubble, we have the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami took a huge game 1 from Boston. Bam Adebayo, it was an O-time finisher, and Bam Bam denying Jason Tatum of the dunk, hand inside, right over the rim, denied him with his non-dominant hand of the left side. One of the best defensive plays I've ever seen on, whether it be playoffs, regular season, reminded me a lot of LeBron James blocks of, splitter with the fingertips, or, the chase down on Iguodala in Game 7 of that finals. Bam's going to be their X factor. He's going to be their X factor for them to try and get to the finals. He outmatches the bigs on the Celtics, whether it be Daniel Tice or Robert Williams. You gave him, his passing, his shooting is the one thing that you don't have to look at. It might not be a big thing for him. His passing is great. It's, you might have Jokic up, as the best. I think Bam is right behind him. Not on the elite level like Jokic is when, facilitating as a big man. But you have him giving you 7-8 assists a night, getting on the board 6 or 7 times, and he's scoring double digits. It went to overtime, big reason for him. But I think Jimmy Butler aside, a guy like Jay Crowder who's been shooting out of his mind during these playoffs, even the bench in Tyler Hero, even the starters of Dragic, Bam Adebayo is gonna be scoring, I think, around 13 to 15 points a game. And if Butler isn't playing well, I think you can feed Adebayo inside and he can take over. He was on the free throw line a lot in Game 1. And, what do I know about Game 2? I really don't know in terms of who's going to win, how this line is. It's so small. It's 2.5 points. It's 2 buckets. But, again, I love for Jimmy Butler to do a little bit more in this game. He got to 20 points, Game 1. Overtime helping out a little bit. I like, for the Celtics' sake, I like Jaylen Brown tonight. I like him to do more. He wasn't really a big part of their offense Game 1, so I like him to come in, hopefully score maybe 20 points tonight, get more in the rhythm of the offense. Jason Tatum doesn't have to do everything. Kemba Walker, was heavily guarded on ball, so we could definitely have a Jaylen Brown type game. And he's done this before. He's taken over games. That's why this offense of the Celtics is so, balanced, similar to Miami, is that if it's not Tatum, it could be Jaylen Brown, or it could be their point guard, their all-star in Kemba. Or, if Mark Smart wants to have a day, he can hit you 5 threes. So tonight's going to be, the swing of the series in a sense. If Miami goes up 2-0, you're thinking, okay, Celtics are going to have to win for, not straight, but in 7. That's the thing. Being down 2-0 is going to be so tough. So this is a crucial Game 2 for Boston. Friday, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. The big man Jokic and Jamal Murray brought in a Game 7 performance that you didn't expect. Down 3-1. Clippers, choke artists. Kawhi Leonard and PG, playoff P, didn't show up once. Kawhi Leonard 0 for second half, fourth quarter, didn't show up. 6 for 22 overall. Paul George literally hit the backboard like 4 friggin' times in the fourth quarter trying to shoot from downtown. They stunk. Jokic, triple-double, 20 rebounds, 17 points. He dished out 13 times. He's thrown behind the back to Jamal Murray. Dish it up. Jamal with 40 points. This Nuggets team, they're not a walkover team. They were 3rd in the West. They're a good, they're a very good team when they're rolling. And they came back with 3 fourth quarter, second half comebacks. I still like the Lakers. It's LeBron James. It's Anthony Davis. I still think they're the leaders. I like the Lakers in 6. We'll see tonight how the Nuggets play after a very hard-fought, emotional Game 7 just to make it. Again, just like in the Game 7 that they beat the Jazz, they came up with a dud against the Clippers. So I hope that Friday's different. I hope it's competitive. But who knows, if they get off with a competitive Game 1, I think it'll really set the tone for the series in itself. I'll give my early predictions because finals probably won't start till later next week, early in 2 weeks on the Monday. And the Heat are up 1-0, but I like the Heat and the Lakers. And, with the Clippers being out, it's an easier path, so to speak, for the Lakers. But again, the Nuggets have been very competitive. They've shocked a lot of people. They came back from 3-1 twice, never been done before. They've been in the big time, win or go home atmosphere and games, and they've come up. As a team, they've come up and they've shown that they are legit. They are not a team for the future. They are right now, and they are ready to win. It's going to be a good fun weeks of 2 final weeks of basketball that we're going to be looking forward to. To the Diamond and to Queens, to Flushing, Queens, we go. Because I didn't think it was going to happen while I was still alive and on this earth. Steve Cohen is about the New York Mets. Steve Cohen is about to buy the New York Mets. Steve Cohen is about to buy the New York Mets. Bye, Jeff. Bye, Fred. See ya. No one's going to miss you. No one's going to miss your cheap-ass ways of owning this organization. This New York team is getting a owner who's a fan of the team, who is worth $14 billion, about to be the richest owner in Major League Baseball. This is all pending approval of 23 of 30 owners. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Apparently, A-Rod and J-Lo, they think that's a problem. They think that, there's a chance that owners say no. They're hanging on, like, on the cliff, like, with one finger. Maybe we can still own the team. No, you can't own the team. Sorry. You're poor. You're poor. Poor. You couldn't get it done. You brought in Bradley Beal and Brian Urlacher and Travis Kelce to chip in a few million here and there. Steve Cohen went, poor. Can't get me. Ain't outbidding me. He's buying it for $2.45 billion. It's a record for a Northeast team. And that looks good. Rob Manfred's very happy. You're going to get a New York team that is going to compete, is going to spend. That's called revenue. That's dollar signs for Robbie. That's more Met fans' interest. Even that broke Tuesday, and I'm still the most miserable human being alive. Jacob deGrom, last night, goes 2 innings. Hamstring spasm, comes out of the game, gave up 3 runs to the Phillies. His ERA is over 2 now. Can't believe I'm saying it. An ERA over 2 might not get him that 3rd straight Cy Young. Besides that, he's been so friggin' good, and it's a shame. He has 2 starts left, who knows. But he's listed as day-to-day. Hopefully he gets 2 more starts, and he pitches great. He still has a chance to win it. And sitting at, 5 games under 500, I don't give a crap anymore. This season is a joke anyway. There's a star next to it. It's flawed. Who cares? Stevie Cohen, Uncle Stevie, is coming in to Queens, and, I can write a wish list very soon, and it could be possible. Bringing in JT Realmuto to catch. Bringing in 2 more pitchers. Bringing back Stroman. Signing a guy like Trevor Bauer to complement DeGrom. And, you get Syndergaard back next year. And maybe Steven Matz doesn't lay a goose egg every start, and he's not in the bullpen. The young kid, you got David Peterson. This rotation could be elite again. 2015 elite again. When you had Fat Matt Harvey and Zach Wheeler, who they refused to bring back, and pitched another gem for the Phillies last night. Didn't get the win, because the Phillies bullpen stinks, and the Mets came back and, they saved, they didn't give DeGrom a loss. They came back and they won the game. Mets stinks. I can only look forward to 2021 now. But what I can take away from this season so far is a 1.71 ERA, a 19.3 Ks per 9 of Edwin Diaz. Is Edwin Diaz good? Maybe. He struck out 45 of the 89 batters he's faced this year. say what you want. Yes, you might have traded for, you traded Kelnick, you traded Dunn for him and Cano. That trade will always not be in our favor. Cano's been good this year. But if the fans continue to, especially we're almost 2 years into Edwin Diaz on the Mets, you continue to compare it to the one season that he had with Seattle, you're never going to be satisfied. Edwin Diaz's stuff is good. And if you think that he's had a bad season this year, you haven't been watching him at all. Dude has a 1.70 ERA and he struck out more than half the batters he's faced. The dude's stuff is good. And whether he can close anymore, he got the save last night, struck out the side again. Last 2 appearances, 2 innings, 6 Ks. Call it a day. Sit down, Didi Gregorius. Sit down, Gene Segura. Sit down, sit down, sit down. The kid can pitch still, and he's going to be in that bullpen. And I hope in a full season he can perform like this. He can give you the numbers like this. If he pitches like this next year, he's got a shot to be good. In the Bronx, what's been better? You went to 21-21. The first time you went 500 in September in like a decade. And you'll win 7 straight. And you're now 28-21. Luke Voit mashes. Kyle Higashioka, 3 homers last night, mashes. DJ LeMahieu batting like 400, mashes. They're fine. Stanton came back the other day. Judge is back yesterday. They're fine. Got hot at the perfect time. You knew they were never going to miss the playoffs. They just had to get in, get the full strength, similar to last year. They're going to be fine. Tanaka tonight against a Blue Jays team that you scored over 30 runs against in the last 2 games. They're going to be fine. Luke Voit, 19 home runs, leads the league in homers. MVP? That remains to be said, remains to be seen. He's getting votes, though. 100% getting votes. He's the one guy that's been consistent this entire year. Hasn't been hurt. Carried them, kept them at that 500 mark. Although they did dip, losing a lot, to Tampa in that stretch that, before the 7-game win streak. He was your one bat in the lineup. And he was mashing. The Yankees are fine. Yankee fans, relax. You're okay. They might not beat the Rays. They haven't been good against the Rays. But they're in. They're in the playoffs. Doesn't matter. You have a shot at the Rays. You're 4 out, 3.5 out. You have a shot. Garrett Cole pitched another good game. Again, your ace came when you needed. Offense showed up for him. You got Tanaka tonight for a sweep against Toronto. We'll see how that is. I'm riding high on the Yankees tonight. Nick's best bets. 2 coming from New York, from the Yankees, from the Bronx. First one, Yankees team total over 5.5. I like it. Just give me 6 runs. Just score double digits again. Just 6 runs. Just go 6 runs. And on the other side of the ball, I like Tanaka over 4.5 Ks. This Blue Jays team is good, but they do strike out. You had Garcia a few days ago. I took that bet over 5.5 strikeouts. He hit 6 in the 7th inning. Cash that. But Tanaka at 4.5, I like that. I like 4.5 from Tanaka. I think it's a good number for him. I think he goes 5, 6, not even 5. I think goes 6 innings, and you give me 5 or 6 strikeouts. The Blue Jays offense is hit or miss. It's a lot of swing and miss in there. Yanks will be fine. They take a sweep. They take another game from Toronto. They have moved past them. Toronto's in their rearview mirror. They're looking back. They're going, hey, that was fun being behind you in 3rd for a little bit. Be good. Be well. 7 in a row for the Yanks. They're on a roll. For the Mets, going back to it, Lugo against Aaron Nola. Tonight, if they want to win, that's cool. I don't care. I'm already past them. This is the take. Put your money in. Best bets. Gamble responsibly. That'll do it for this week's edition of The Take. Just want to thank all the viewers. If you guys are old and, we're along for Derp's Take, I think this is the start of something big. We have some really, really great things planned in terms of just the content that is going to be posted and out from our platform. I'm really excited about all this stuff. So tune in again next week. We'll have, again, our Twitter and Instagram going in the next few days. This episode will be up tonight, here today, Thursday, September 17th. So we'll be back again next week on Wednesday, and that's our plan. Every Wednesday we'll be doing a weekly episode of The Take and then some other things here and there. So appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel right below, I think. I think that's how the YouTubers do it. So just like, or yeah.